Today I want to share with you a traditional English dessert, the butterfly cake. Even at the first glance, it's easy to see why the dessert got its name. The dessert itself is a delicate sponge cake filled with jam and airy cream, true English elegance. And like everything refined, it has its own history which begins in the Victorian era. This is not a dessert that was invented by one person in a single day. It emerged as a result of historical circumstances. Sugar became accessible to the masses, chemical leavening agents appeared, completely changing the way baked goods were made. The legendary tea time culture was formed. Drinking tea became a social ritual, where small individual portions of sweets were especially in demand. That's when the fairy cake appeared, a whimsical little cake that later evolved into a decorative version and became today's beloved butterfly cake. In the 20th century, this cake became especially popular at children's parties and in schools. The reason is simple: small size, simple ingredients, a festive look. That's why the chef and I thought this recipe could be very useful for mothers as well, when a portioned, fun yet refined dessert is needed to school or other events. The butterfly cake is one of the most practical choices, and the most enjoyable part is that children can easily be involved in this preparation process. Attaching the wings and decorating with cream became a small culinary adventure for them, making time spent in the kitchen even more fun and memorable. As always, the chef checked the workspace, corrected a few points in the recipe, and under his careful supervision I began cooking. All ingredients should be at a room temperature. First, I thoroughly beat the butter and sugar, added a pinch of salt and vanilla. I mixed it with a hand mixer for about 5 minutes. The texture of the cake depends on how fluffy the butter becomes. Once the mixture became light and fluffy, I added the eggs in 3 stages, mixed well again, and finally added the sifted flour and baking powder. At this stage, no longer use the mixer. I quickly combine the mixture using a spoon. After adding flour, it's not recommended to overmix. I filled the molds halfway with butter and placed them in a preheated oven at 170 degrees of Celsius. It's the same as 340 degrees of Fahrenheit. Using only bottom heat. Temperature is an important detail here. Unlike other cupcakes, you don't need a high dome. The surface should be flat. Therefore, baking at a lower temperature is optimal. The butter won't rise too quickly and won't crack. It took about 20 minutes for me. I left the cakes in the molds until they cooled down. Meanwhile, I prepared the cream using butter and condensed milk. I beat room temperature butter well, then gradually added room temperature condensed milk. I added vanilla and mixed until smooth. I lightly worked the finished cream with a silicone spatula to remove excess air bubbles, and it makes the cream more smoother. For the cooled cakes, I cut off the tops to create a small hollow in the sponge. I filled them with strawberry jam and cream. Using the cut-off pieces, I attached the wings. And that's it. A delicious, delicate, airy, and aromatic butterfly cake is ready. It's a perfect dessert for both adults and children. I wholeheartedly recommend making it. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe. The chef Molly will be very pleased.